Okay.
And there it goes. Hello, hello. We are about to go live, so if you guys can hear this, it's going.
Yes.
Ooh, we lost somebody already. He's got a rainbow. Oh, it jumped back up. All right, let's do this. So it started with the idea, and we chose the colors, and then there was making the pattern, and then we cut the strings and had Mandy turn it into really great looking kumis. And then from there, we had the first stream where we built the 4 diamonds. And then next, we had the second stream where we actually joined those diamonds together. And then we turned it into a cylinder and got to working at bringing it longer. And it's looking really amazing. And I can't wait to see where this goes. So let's get at it and roll that intro. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and I'm really excited tonight. We actually did some special sound things and stuff just for a special thing that I have planned for a little bit later on. But before I get too excited and into everything else, let me first remind everybody the secret word game is back, and all you have to do is chat and just say the right word in there, and you win these 2 bracelets. One was made by me, and one was made by Minute Craft. So, yeah, I think after a year, you guys should probably know that one already. All right. Tonight, I am joined by my lovely wife, Mandy, and we are still working on this bag. I've already forgotten what the title of this thing is. What is it? Ethnic bag, ethnic pattern bag number 1. That's over on my website. It's actually pinned to the top of the tutorial, so that way we can easily find it if you should be so inclined to want to try this out for yourself. So, how is everybody tonight? Obviously, I'm all kinds of jazzed up and ready for this. I'm excited. So basically, tonight's goal is just to see how far we can continue this pattern down. Um, I could go much further in each row and not like take the time like spinning it around and doing all that, which obviously adds more time to the overall make. But you know what else adds a lot more time? Taking out knots, making mistakes. So by doing small portions at a time, I'm probably more inclined to make less mistakes. So we're going to try to go with that. You're sanding walls? That's that takes effort. That's not fun. Of course, that's probably like a really good workout. You're gonna end up like, just raw. Oh no. Yeah. I was never really a big fan of sanding, period. Like back when I did like wood crafting stuff or whatever in school. Yeah, I was that was the one part where it was just like, yeah, it's good enough. As long as I'm not getting splinters, I don't care. So yeah, I'm kind of wondering what happened to this keyboard. Like sounds like was this one of those head banging moments where somebody just upset you so much that you just ruined it that way? Was it the reaching for a beer and that just went sideways? So many possibilities. Can you tell I've killed a few keyboards before? The keyboard that is kind of dead, so you decide to look inside and you find nothing but like Doritos dust. Oh, last week I tried to do a thing. Check this out. I can now show you guys the pattern I'm working from. So last week, so it turns out I last week when I was trying to figure out like where the thing went, it turns out that the normal screen sort of basically had it, but it was like there's a thing that if you can see it, it looks like an eye, and if you can't, it's like grayed out. Yeah, it was there and it was grayed out, and forgot that that's how I had it set up. So yeah, whatever. It's a little 10-year-old keyboard. You got your money's worth. That's pretty good. So yeah, so this is coming along nicely. So I meant to get onto Patreon today because I was going to tell a story, but I guess I can wait until we have photos and stuff. But um, what a lot of people may not know is I probably would have never have joined Patreon if it wasn't for somebody kind of suggesting this is the direction I should take, and that person was the Rainbow Haze. And I don't even know how long it's been, but like basically I only just recently got monetized on YouTube. So whatever little income I was getting for my craft came from Patreon. And that was enough that it helped me buy some cameras and microphone and uh I don't know what that thing is over there, but it's what makes the microphone work. Um yeah, real technical, right? Um so yeah, it was her help that got me through it. So we we sent out my okay, well, a little more backstory. Once upon a time, I had said if I get 100 Patreon people, I would, basically choose one of them to win the bucket bag. And of course, we've never gotten even close to that. I don't even think I've crossed having like 10 people or anything. So I decided that the bucket bag should get sent off to the UK, and Rainbow just got it. So we were chatted a little bit yesterday, and that was fun. And I'm really like how this is coming along. Yeah. Yeah, she did cry just a little bit. That was really cute. Okay. So this one, man, well, I guess I can do this part over here first. So yeah, that bucket bag was the largest bag that I've made so far. 400 strings. Um, One of the difficult aspects of it was I had a small spice bottle, like, like basil or whatever comes in, just a little tiny spice bottle. I had a 10-sided dice inside that I would shake to find out how many knots in a row it would have. And I did that so many times. Oh my God. That was like, talk about adding a bunch of time to a project. That was pretty brutal. I do. I have a smiley face. Wait. Oh, somehow my phone thought I was talking to it all of a sudden and popped up the thing. That was weird. Yeah. So we all have something to look forward to. I'm planning on doing it at like around 11, so that way like there'll be like a timestamp people can kind of come back to and watch this because it's going to be really funny. But I have a video of Mandy and myself, and Mandy hasn't seen this yet, and so we're going to really make full use of the Mandy cam and get some reactions, and it should be pretty hilarious, to be honest. I'm really kind of looking forward to that. Hey, so yeah, I did a thing right before the stream started, and it was like um, trying to see whether or not I could get the bot going, and it's like, set up this and set up that, and like, oh, that's already done, and oh, that's already done, and I'm like, okay, so hopefully it works. So maybe that fixed it. I don't know. That makes me happy. Awesome. Uh, All I know is it's nice to have the bot back. That was really frustrating last week. I think they've made some updates. There's supposedly some things to help filter out bad words, and there's things for, I don't know, like other tools and stuff. So it's pretty neat. Oh, I also got a new watch. How cool is that? Um, and it's smart. So I now have things like a sleep score and a stress score, and yeah, it just does all kinds of neat stuff. It's really fun. Oh, and it's really good at getting me notifications. So now when like something comes across my phone, I get it on my wrist. And so like if I'm a great example of this is on Thursdays is typically the day I do laundry. And so I'll be recording videos and like periodically I get kind of worried. I'm like, oh, I need to check on the washer. So I have to like kind of, tell everybody I'll be right back. And I go wander off and I go check and find out it's not right. I now get a notification on my watch when the washer is done. And so I can continue recording and doing whatever and don't have to worry about this back and forth thing that I always do. It is so awesome. Like that's yeah, it's way cool. I've always been a little geeky, but man, I could never get the old watch to do what it was supposed to do. Fortunately, it was a free thing. It was we were supposed to do like a review and help promote the watch, and so it was free. But yeah, this thing works just so much better. Possibly because okay, so the watch is a Xiaomi and my phone is Xiaomi. So maybe it's because they're both the same brand and they just communicate really well together. I I don't know, but it's really working for me though. So it says we have a bunch of people watching. Welcome to all of you guys. I'm guessing maybe because you guys aren't chatting that maybe it just means you're not signed into your account, which I mean, okay, I kind of get it. But if you sign in, you can chat. And if you chat and you say the right word, you win a couple bracelets. I mean, it's kind of our thing. So, join the conversation and make it fun. Ask some questions. I so this is what, the fourth stream, right? The first one we built the squares, the second one we joined them, and then last week we wait, no, this is third or fourth. Anyways, so yeah, this whole thing has just been being made on live streams and kind of slows things down a bit, because during the week I could probably do a bunch of stuff to it, but it gives you guys a chance to see it built from the beginning to the end. So yeah. the bot's confused. It's just like it just doesn't want to get hit anymore. Like, I'll say anything just to stop beating me. All right. So, one of the things I can see that's about to make it confusing is when I'm looking at the pattern, part of me wants to kind of zoom in like this so I can see the knots and direction. But the other part of me wants to zoom way out so that way I can see the overall shape and kind of see where I am in the mix of the entire big project here thing, you know. So like it's it is confusing. So if you're wondering like if there's a certain way to do this, um the simple answer is no, that it's however you are most comfortable figuring out exactly where you are and what you're doing. So mind you, like I've said before, if it gets too difficult, you can open it up in an app like GIMP or Photoshop or um, what was the one that I put on the tablet? Pocket something?
I
Pocket?
don't remember.
Is it
Pocket Draw?
Pocket
Pocket?
Draw? Pocket Paint? Pocket something?
Pocket Paint.
So yeah, Pocket Paint. That worked out pretty good. Um, it's a little bit hard on a tablet because it's not like you have a mouse. So a lot of like when you're trying to cross out what you've done, it looks like it was done by like a 4-year-old. Maybe that's just me.
You are a 4-year-old.
I have my moments. You're probably going to say that after the video at 11. You're probably going to accuse me of such things. I already I just know where this is going. I don't know why I subject myself to this kind of silliness, but I I'm prepared for a good giggle. Am I building this up too much? I don't think so. Honestly, I think I'm not building it up enough. And it's taken me everything in my power to not talk about it all day long. I did mention this morning that I was pretty psyched about the whole live stream, but I didn't exactly say why or what was kind of going on through my head there. But yeah,
Got an ad.
yeah. I have a thing that should be able to tell me like the ads are coming or whatever. I'm just not watching that screen. I'm really just concentrating so hard on trying to not make mistakes. Oh, next week, lots of stuff is going on. So, is it this one? Oh, this one. There is my schedule for next week. So you can see we've got Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday off. So there won't be any streams. I will be streaming tomorrow for the members. And then again, I'll be back Thursday, Friday. And then we'll do the regular live stream. We'll be back again next Saturday. So I'm curious if any of you guys saw the short vertical live stream I did. I don't know what day that was, but it's a new thing that YouTube came up with where I can basically live stream like using a phone or whatever. And so I gave it a shot just to see what it was like. And the weird thing is I think it just throws it up in front of people the same way that YouTube Shorts work. And so like I think the whole thing was like 17 minutes long. In the 17 minutes, more than 90 people had seen what I was doing. I don't think there was ever a period where there was more than 10 or 15 people necessarily watching. At least while it was live, like there were people watched it after, whatever. But yeah, it was really weird. I think if I was to try to like find a way of making that work, I have to be able to talk endlessly, like not coming up for air at all, because as people are coming in, they want content. They want to hear what's going on. They want to know what's happening. And if I'm concentrating, um, they're gone. They're just, nope. It's so weird. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can like keep that kind of energy that hard. Because I have to think, my brain, it takes efforts. I imagine the poor hamster is just going, hey, hello, welcome. So this little square I'm working on right now is going to finish up this row, which means I have to start to figure out what happens next. So Just Strings Things has made it in time for the 11 o'clock video reveal. I'm so psyched. I can't stand it. Yay. So this is the first one. This is the second one. So I'm here. I'm trying to concentrate, but the music in my ears is making it really difficult. I wonder. Well, that's weird. Shadow banning on Instagram. I've heard of that happening. I don't know why it would happen. Yes, a lot of concentration here. think we've got this figured out. I think it is sort of going okay at this moment. Well done. Yeah, if you remember, you get to watch fun stuff like the other day. I had a meltdown. I I made about a 20-minute video. I was going to pause for a little bit so that way I could work out all of the underlying strings and stuff. I wasn't going to subject everybody to that. And then there was a whole meltdown when the whole thing wouldn't work. And I was sure I put all the colors in the right order and everything should be 100% on track to do the thing. And it was not happening. And I had a whole meltdown in the live streams. So that was like, yeah, it got really, really weird. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Like you're completely, stuck with whatever the computer wants to do with your stuff. There's nothing we can do about it. Like that's so, I don't know, sucks. So this is the one that goes, all right. I have no such problem except for maybe the eyebrows. You know, the little palm sanders, I think that's what they call it. Palm sanders. Yeah, those things are absolutely amazing. It will completely like just take out so much of the work for you. It's so worth it. Yes, they're expensive. Yes, you probably won't use it again for a really, really long time, but you would probably be happier. All right. Yeah, okay. So electric one. So yeah, okay. Yeah, you can still get tired using an electric one.
It's holding it up and the vibrations.
Yeah, that can get to you.
Remember when remember when you were doing it with the drill thing?
Yeah, I had a drill with the wire brush attachment. Spent the entire time that Mandy's parents were in the United States doing everything in my power to make the place super awesome. And they came back and went, yeah, okay, you painted. Cool. Seriously. That was it. They were like, whatever. Of course, Dad couldn't see, so he had no idea. So I guess I can't really blame him as much. He had no idea. Ah, that's kind of epic. That makes it a lot more work, I'm sure. Can we get can we get some chinchillas so that way we can pretend that they're the ones making the bracelets? Oh my gosh. Can you imagine just little scaffolding like and if you've ever seen the chinchillas with a their dust bowl because they don't bathe in water. They bathe in a dust bowl and they just like they go all Tasmanian devil in these things. So yeah, like the plaster dust would be hilarious. Uh that reminds me of a very funny story. Um as you guys might know, some 20 what 3 years ago I had a son and I did my best to be a good father and do all the stuff. And one time I changed his diapers and had a little accident with the baby powder. It tried to give it that little squeeze, but it shot out way too much. And you can't really put it back or anything, so I just kind of sealed it up and send him on his way. The boy walks across the living room and he just drops and all of a sudden just this cloud. Yeah. So how do you know when you're shadow banned on Instagram? Is it just you stop getting likes, stop getting comments, that kind of stuff? Or is there like a like notifications or I don't know how these things work. Having to try to keep an eye on the time. That's so weird. So this is that one. So yeah, this part here has like so this dark one, right, goes both directions perfectly. What happens immediately after that that decides if I do it right or if I've done it wrong. And it's so stressful. It's probably why I typically don't do these kind of patterns, but arguably they are really neat looking. So yeah. So surprisingly, I think this isn't going to take that long to make. Kind of judging by where we are in the pattern, this isn't so bad. Of course, I'm kind of fearful of saying such things because, famous last words and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, believe me, I'm probably just as surprised as you are. So, mind you, this is a lot less strings than the last bag. So, I think maybe some of the assumptions of like how long it should take may have been based on the last time around, which obviously it takes a lot longer to go a full round when there's so many more strings. So, okay. So this is this one. I just realized the whole thing's kind of slipped off to the side here. Hang on. Yeah, this is the easiest it'll be for a little while. Um, there are some really crazy ones coming, and I am both very much looking forward to them and terrified at the same time. We started out with the easiest ones I could do to kind of kick off this whole series of the bag making, with the intention of being able to get people who are kind of new to the whole idea or whatever into it. And then the idea is we just keep getting more and more intense to find where your skill level is and where you're comfortable with and show you what is possible. And then we get into the stuff where, um, yeah, it's just going to be insane. Okay, 11 o'clock. So let me give some backstory here. Um, Basically, I do a lot of silly things to try to get attention from my wife. And in this instance, I don't have actual footage of my trying to antagonize, so I had to get actors to play out the parts. So as you will see, it's a representation of me and Mandy. So yeah, I know I built this up for a long time. Here we go. Whoops, wrong button.
Eh? Aspetta, aspetta. No? Macareno. No? Huh, okay. Eh? Oh, taramino puto, porachino, oh, toca.
Oh, there you go. That's the video I've been dying to show you guys. So
I'm not sure you had to label them. I think that was a bit redundant.
uh
Welcome to my life, people.
fairly accurate though. Fairly accurate. So hopefully the hype was worth it. I actually had to do a bunch of upgrades here today because I wanted Mandy to be able to hear the audio while the video played, and I didn't want her to see it in advance. So that way, she kind of knew what all the I was implying or whatever. And so yeah, there was like a bunch of work went in earlier today to actually make that happen. So I'm really just happy the whole thing worked. Yeah. One of the other, if you want a little more insight to me and Mandy, one of the other things that tends to happen is when I basically say I'm done for the day, I'm done recording and whatever, I will stop for my, you know, check out what's going on with the internet. And for about an hour or two, maybe a little bit more sometimes, um, there will be a barrage of what I call the internet's finest, which is basically all the things that I thought were hilarious get sent and forwarded on to Mandy so she can see everything that I think is funny. So basically for a couple hours her notifications are just going off. Some are real gems, some actually make her laugh. I'm still having a hard time with this shadow band thing. Like, I have I have made some discoveries here recently, and um, not super thrilled about the whole thing. Um, there was some post with some pretty crazy government view on how things are being handled on the one of the U.S. borders and stuff, and um, I kind of didn't like the way that it was being portrayed, as if Democrats just do nothing about it or whatever, and that it was you know laying it all at their feet kind of thing. And I pointed out how the post kind of failed to mention that the Republicans had kind of shot down a bill that would have helped to afford more protections at the border. And the comments were ridiculous. Like, I learned in that instance that these people will keep people like myself silent because just pointing out something like that caused me to get so much backlash. I mean, and it was some of the stuff was just terrible. And the things that they were saying, horrible stuff. And I was just like, I couldn't believe what was happening. And I can't believe that those people don't get kind of called out for their language and for the things that they were saying. And some of it just got so completely ridiculous. And I pretty much, I just stayed silent. I got done. I did not want to be engaging with these people because they just beat you down with, and they were, some of it was like, so they want to put people to be there at the borders, right? Like the border patrol and the border whatever, like when you go into a country, right? But then they're saying, well, then they'll just allow more illegals in. But if these people actually come through the border like you're supposed to, then they're not illegal. I mean, that's not how that works. It just doesn't make sense. The whole thing just doesn't make any sense. But they're just absolutely ready to argue and be terrible people in general, and I just I just don't want to be any part of any of that. And I'm sure that, you know, hearing the shadow ban thing, I could imagine that like if I had carried on and replied back, then yeah, they would probably just, say I did bad comments or something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't I don't engage in those conversations any longer. And the sad part is it makes their voice and their echo chamber nice and loud and helps draw in people to be the absolute worst. And the people who, might not understand what's going on are going to fall into those groups, and they're not going to hear any dissent of the ideals and whatever. And so they're gonna assume that that's the truth. It's just it's just the worst.
Another ad.
What's that?
Another ad.
Really? Yeah, that's another frightening thing as well. I've heard of that kind of stuff happening to people, um, old Twitter tweets or whatever coming back and getting them, or you know. But I feel like it wasn't just the internet that just killed things. Like I think groups of people read things like 1984 and went like, that sounds like a good guideline to power and wealth, as opposed to seeing it for the warning that it was. It's just weird. Yeah, I just saw a thing earlier today that a Republican leader, that Marjorie Taylor Greene, thinks that women need to stop dressing in ways that distract the Christian men, which kind of sounded a little, I don't know, like going back to the whole,
Extremism.
whole Puritan ways, and it's the women's fault for leading men astray. I mean, isn't that kind of like what Muslims, like they cover themselves so as to protect the men from having indecent thoughts? So basically now the right is becoming Muslim with bacon. I don't know. It's just weird. And there's, yeah. And then the whole thing about, so I don't know if you guys heard about the whole thing in Alabama. An accident happened at a clinic for what do they call that? The
IVF.
IVF. There we go. Easier for me to say than the actual technical term. So anyways, so some of the petri dishes got knocked over, whatever. Um, the woman who had her eggs frozen or whatever wanted to sue for like basically wrongful death because now her chance of having a kid is ruined because her eggs are gone. And the lower court was like, that's not really a kid. No, that's not how that works. And just now, just like within the day or so, the Supreme Court for that state has come back and said, no, maybe that is a kid. And that, yeah, maybe you should be able to sue them for the wrongful death, which suddenly makes every clinic that does the IVF like, nope, we're not going to do that anymore. If ruining one of these eggs is going to count as manslaughter, then no, we're shutting up shop, and that's the end of that. And which has got a whole bunch of politicians all freaked out. Like they had to send out a memo to say, hey, we all back the IVF. We're all, they needed a memo to tell them like what side of this whole thing to be on. And but meanwhile, like the way that the law kind of now leans as a result of this decision still isn't going to help any of these doctors feel safer in that environment. And the whole thing just doesn't make any sense. And like the only good I can potentially see of this is it's really dividing the Republicans in the camp who want to say, yeah, the eggs are potentially a person, and those that are like, no, let's not do that because it'll make it so that way nobody can, have help if they can't have children. And if they get split enough, maybe they stop electing people to do dumb things like be on the courts and make stupid rulings, because it doesn't make sense. Like women will donate a number of eggs. Not all of those end up becoming the children. So the doctor could be on the hook if, let's say she donates 4, but it doesn't work. He could get hit with manslaughter, and that's got to be terrifying if you're the doctor. It doesn't work every time. It's so weird. I don't understand. Yeah, yeah. There was a woman who recently almost died because the baby wasn't going to make it or whatever, and the I think they were like they used septic or something, like something became toxic, and it was going to kill her, and she had to go out of state to get it taken care of because it would have been the death of her. And she ran the risk of, if she goes back home, they could potentially I don't know, maybe put her in jail because of, protecting herself. The whole thing's just, it's so difficult to understand. Yeah, so apparently even Trump has come out on this whole thing and like, no, 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 no. We want healthy babies and strong families, and so who knows, man? This whole thing's weird. And yeah, nobody cares when a person gets stuck with huge bills, you know. It's the people who make the laws have the greatest healthcare system ever. All their needs are completely taken care of, including dental and stuff. So when the people that they represent have troubles, yeah, they're just like, yeah, you know, they they're so out of touch. They have no clue what it's like. It's ridiculous. Every time I give this thing a turn, I look at it like, wait, I have no idea where I am. Yeah, if God's not letting you have the baby, then for the people who are like, oh, you can't have an abortion because my God says so. Well, if your God stops you from having a baby, then it's always whatever they want it to be. Always, it's unfortunate. Oh, so, wait, let's go with some slightly better news. I sent the rainbow bag to my sister and she got it and she is super happy. And I was like, hey, but it fits your phone, right? She goes, yeah, sure. But, it actually works as a really small handbag and I really love it. And she's all excited and happy about it. So, yeah, that was nice. Yeah, well, that's the whole thing right now, isn't it? The separation of church and state, that's what these people want to do away with. They want to have enough power and control. They tried to line the courts with judges favorable to their viewpoints, and now they're trying to do away with those barriers. Um, they want they want a Christian run society, you know. It's I've seen religious countries run by whatever faith that they have, and it usually does not work out well for those who don't believe. And, the rules start becoming more and more from the church, and the church will want to control the way you think and how you act and how you dress. And, yeah, it's just going to get ugly. Yeah, there was a bit of a duration between when I shipped out my sister's bag, probably like a week before I shipped out Rainbows. But because one was going to the US and the other to England, they both landed really, really close to each other time wise. That's kind of neat. I'm really wondering if we're going to be able to make it all the way around with as far as I'm bringing this down. I kind of hope that it goes all the way around, but at the same time, if it doesn't, I'll understand just be happy that, you know, I'll know kind of where I'm leaving off at and stuff. It'll be good. Oh man, the time blindness thing, that is so 100%. Like I've had multiple days where I just suddenly I'm dizzy and I'm wondering what the heck is wrong with me. And it's like, oh, you're living on coffee and sodas and not much else. So yeah, oh man, totally 100% relate to that. But yeah, once you get that right energy thing going, oh man, it's like it's the greatest. That was the problem the other day. That's what I was talking about with the behind the scenes thing was I got up and I was super psyched. I knew the pattern I was going to make and I was super excited about the whole thing and I sat down and like I normally like the first I don't know while when I start up the live streams, it's a little while trying to get focused and try to get myself in the zone. But I hit the ground running that day. I was ready and immediately started recording and like 20 minutes in, recording is done and I'm going to do the other stuff and then it there was about 45 minutes of me trying to color in all of the strings and it's not working and then I realized that there was no salvaging it. And then I was like, oh man, I've got to record from the beginning. And it's now like an hour and, 15 hour and 20 minutes after I originally started this whole whatever. Oh man, it was, so now I go back into the whole thing without that energy, without that whole, you know, whatever. And it's just, it was so difficult. Yeah, for me, my fingers will be fine. There's a spot like kind of where the neck and shoulders kind of come together. That's where the tension will kind of build for me. And then when I finally get up, I suddenly realize like, oh, I can't move my head and I'm in pain. And yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Turn I'm from LA. Crash. Yeah, but you have to there I totally get the wanting the I'm in the zone, I want to get a lot done, but we have to know our limitations. You and I've told this to Mandy many times. I won't know my limitations. Like back when we were going on long bike rides. And I think this is an ADHD thing. I will push myself until something breaks. And it turns out when I do that, I'm more likely to get less done because I'm now ruined and I can't go any further. And you don't accomplish more by pushing yourself until there's nothing left. Knowing your limit, knowing that I can take periodic breaks, setting a timer helps. I have a timer on my phone that goes off once an hour to just kind of remind me to kind of get up, do some stretching. My new watch now tells me that get up, move around a bit. So I do some stretching and I do some stuff. So it's um it's 100% relatable to me, 100% relatable. But yeah, if you don't take the time to have something to eat, have a little drink, kind of relax, maybe do a little stretching, it can get pretty bad. And yeah, nobody wants that. Says the guy who streams for like 3 hours straight of just nonstop grind. But I kind of know, like, I mean, I could maybe do more than the 3 hours, but there would have to be a break or two in it if we were gonna lengthen out the live streams, which that that day may come at some point. Um, I envision a day after my father-in-law is gone that, maybe I start the streams a little earlier or my sleep schedule changes a lot and we just go much later or something. I don't know. But I envision a day when our streams are we can put more time in and have fun with it. I have a thing where if I push myself too hard and it gets to part where my hands are a problem, I will get where like my thumb will lock up and I can't pull it out of this position. It'll just cramp and pull in and just hurts like crazy. I've been actually kind of craving jelly beans, and I know that the whole jelly bean season is coming up soon. So yeah, kind of like what I did last Halloween and did a little stocking up on some yummies. I envision that yeah, I'm going to be collecting some stuff this year. Ooh, yay for smooth walls. So in America, I believe they call that Miller time. That's some commitment for some day drinking there. Actually, actually, on the few days where I would do drinking, um, start like I would only get like 1 day off a month back when I was doing catering, and so that 1 day off sometimes just became like extra hazy. I would get out the coffee and the Baileys, and yeah, that would be the start of it. At some point, might have a 6 pack of beer and light some candles and lounge in the bathtub. Yeah, good times. There you go. What's the orange juice and champagne one?
Mimosa.
Mimosa. Yeah, do a couple of those. Those are supposed to be really classy, I guess. Pre-gaming, yes. The pre-gaming. Awesome. Okay, so this one went that way. Yes. So this is, man. Wait, is that right? Yes. What's the one with the beer? You take the shot of whiskey and you drop it in your beer. That was quite the rage back when I was first learning to drink. And this is why I have to mark my videos for adults. There's like a little tick box when I'm like set up my videos, and yes, I say it's not for kids, and this is pretty much why, guys. Ooh, and then if you have celery with the Bloody Mary, like to stir it with, then you got like your vegetables and your whole like proper breakfast. Of course, you have to add in like the hot sauce because a Bloody Mary without hot sauce is just like meh. I think okay, so depth charge definitely sounds like a thing. If I remember right, and mind you, 18 was a long time ago. Um, I think it was called a Boilermaker. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that they're no longer allowed to serve those in bars because it's a quick way to not being right. Oh man, Bloody Marys are awesome. You can get, yeah, the V8 juice will work. There's even a V8 spicy, but that especially works. And or there's actually like manufacturers that like make their own special Bloody Mary sauces, and oh my god, they can go down so easy. And yeah, like don't don't go too crazy on putting in too much vodka because that will kind of ruin it. But if you put in just the right combination, you'll hardly taste the vodka. It'll go down so easy, and yeah, good times. Yeah, I went through all kinds of different phases of like what I was drinking. Seven and sevens were really, really good. Um, Used to love those. Those things, you really don't taste the alcohol. That was nice. Um, Tequila sunrises. Yeah, I had a whole phase where that was my go-to thing at the bar. Oh yeah, a little pepper in it. Yeah, that's not bad. In a Bloody Mary. Yeah, see that was my whole thing. Hot sauce gets rid of the clogged sinuses. So yeah, every chance. Plus, it's a way of telling your tummy who's boss. Just like, look, I'm gonna send a bunch of alcohol here, and it's coming with hot sauce. So take that. You know, just to show who's in charge.
You've got me wondering what a Bloody Mary would taste like with wasabi.
Now you got me wondering.
Right?
Yeah,
Might be interesting.
there was you know me, I don't like oysters and all that kind of stuff, but there was like a Bloody Mary sauce that had that kind, like I think it was like oysters or something like that in it, like blended in or whatever, and a little bit spicy, whatever. Back when I dated this one girl, she got this stuff. Actually, that was really good. Like there's some Bloody Mary mixes that are just like, hmm, and then find out what's in it. Like, wow, that's weird. I didn't think I would like that, but yeah, not bad. Alcohol will make you like weird things, though. I guess. Yeah, maybe that's what I don't know. Yeah, it was a weird. I don't even remember like who makes it or anything. That was 14, 15 years ago. Um, but yeah, crazy learning to drink other stuff. Of course, my go-to thing now would be the one alcohol that I can only ever find occasionally at the uh, customs duty-free thing, and that's Drambuie. I love Drambuie. To me, it tastes like a butterscotch candy, and it's like just the greatest stuff ever. And unfortunately, I can't get it. Yeah. That's true. If you really want to get into a good food conversation, you need the Singaporeans to be here. Mandy, I can try to tell her all the details of somewhere we went. She will have no clue. No clue whatsoever. Mention what we ate, and she will tell you what street it was, what the date was. She got all that stuff. It's a Singaporean thing. I'm telling you, the food is life. Yeah, so take that and add vodka and a little bit of spicy sauce. And yeah. Mind you, when it comes to spice, I'm a little bit like Mandy now gets me the Tabasco sauce. That's the, is it scorpion? Scorpion pepper?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. Yeah, I think I still have some tomato juices in the storeroom. There, this might be a Bloody
That
Mary.
didn't expire 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. Got me wondering. This could be a Bloody Mary night, though. It's kind of got my. I got the good hot sauce. I got the. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. The tomato sauce could be really old. It's the kind that's supposed to not go bad, but then again, I think it still has a shelf life, so I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. So speaking of crazy day drinking, so back in the whole way back when's, um, there was a period where like I was working at a laundromat and a used bookstore, so I was working pretty much like all the time. And when I would get a little bit of time away, I took advice from the lady folks from the bookstore, who told me, you know, get in the tub, nice hot bathtub, some candles, and a nice novel, and just allow yourself to really
Ooh.
relax. And yep, yep. Once upon a time, that would be me. 498, 489. Hey, not bad. I never win those things. Any kind of lottery stuffs. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, I don't know, sometime last week, I had one of the plastic totes that holds all the bobbins with all your floss in it. I had it sitting on top of the airplane trolley, sitting on top of a few other things, kind of stacked up there. It fell, and the whole lid basically shattered kind of along the seam where it, like, I don't know if it was the hinge side or the other side, but whatever, it just totally ruined it. So I went to the place where basically Singaporeans would go if they wanted embroidery floss. They don't have it. I went to another place, an art place, where I had bought the totes previously. Mind you, it was like you buy three of them and it came with like a nylon carrying bag that held them all perfectly and had extra pockets for like scissors and all the other goodies. They don't have them. Like, those totes are just gone. Like, they just don't sell them here anymore. It's so weird. Oh, and then we went looking. We saw some of these totes. What was the highest price like on Amazon? It was like $40 or something stupid.
Hmm.
Just holy cow. Like, that that just kind of freaked me out. $40 for a plastic tote to hold your floss. Like, I get that the floss has gotten stupid, but now the totes are too? Like, unbelievable. Oh man. And then the song that comes on is Wind of Change. Yeah, $40. 40 USD. Mind you, we did find them cheaper through like the Chinese kind of outlets, but it took some searching. And some of the newer ones have changed the dimensions, and it's like, oh, come on, the other ones were really working for me, and now you're gonna like change to these like smaller ones and stuff, which, I mean, that's kind of cool. I could bring it along on a short trip or something, but I don't know. The whole thing is, yeah. Yeah, so the 90s, I was already into making big stuff. In fact, I was creating a portfolio to show all the things I could do, and everybody kept thinking it was a catalog. And I would say I'll make whatever, but I just don't want to make the same thing I already did before, so I can have new pictures to put in the book. And yeah, I'd already had
Another ad.
giant, huge bracelets and stuff. See, I can't. I like when I'm doing the projects, right? Like, so I'm doing the daily videos, right? So I cut a lot of floss, and because I cut my floss in thirds, and then I'll quite often use two out of the three. The third one has to go on a bobbin. It has to go somewhere, and I do have a number of totes that Mandy was kind enough to kind of organize by color. And so I'm kind of thinking that at some point I will tackle going through all of that, and like whenever I'm gonna make a pattern or something, like going to the totes and kind of showing that, like bringing from those. I have to see how that goes. I don't know. I haven't quite figured out how to film it, and that's the thing that's been kind of holding me back, is that pretty much everything I do these days is how does it revolve around the channel. So yeah, I haven't quite figured out all the details just yet. Don't have a good place to kind of set things up, and like if I had like an extra desk or something where I could like have those laid out, and then keep them in one kind of arrangement so we could watch it like those slowly empty out, that would be really cool, but I just don't have the space for that. I don't know if you guys remember, I did a video where I was making bracelets for, I can't think of her name. The gal in Australia, her grandmother had passed away. She inherited all the floss. Um, Hang on. Yeah, Mel. So the Mel's Nan video, the she sent me all this floss from way back when. The crazy part is, once upon a time, floss used to actually be wound on cardboard bobbins with a little tear off piece. The tear off piece had like the number and some stuff and the manufacturer's stuff on it. And so it was already pre-wound. You just bought it like that. I was like, oh my God, I don't know when that was, but that would have been the greatest thing ever. Like if I could have just buy all the floss, it's already pre-wound. I throw it into boxes and have it organized. Oh my God. Oh, been the greatest. This is this one. This is this one. Yeah. Yeah, so that was what one of the stores new solution is they had basically the pockets that looks like you're collecting the well, I guess in my day it was like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and then Pokemon cards, I guess, like those kind of things. Um, right on. We bought bobbins back when we found like a great deal on it. I probably have no less than 3,000 bobbins. That's not even like joking. I I'm pretty sure I have well over 3,000 bobbins. So yeah, I I have not had a problem of running out. And then like I'll get all like a bag all wound on the bobbins and everything's organized and I know what I've got and I know it's ready. And then in what seems like no time, it suddenly that whole thing just empties out and all the bobbins go back into the drawer, you know. So yeah, man, I gotta tell you guys, airplane trolleys are the greatest organizational tool for floss. You can keep so much in there. You just have to make sure you get the double trolley. Like there's a half one and a full one. Get the full one and make it so that one side is just filled with drawers and then the other side can be filled with totes. Well, we did one side full with drawers plus one drawer on the other side, and then the rest is totes. And yeah, man. Because I forget how many totes I have, but there's a bunch. And like I have totes that contain string that's cut to 1/3. I have totes that contain string that are full, and then occasionally I will load up a tote with bigger projects or things that I'm working on. It's funny. I'm kind of starting to notice that I'm like recognizing the pattern a little bit easier and um, kind of knowing which direction things are kind of going in. So it's like just about the time I'm starting to like really understand it and then kind of it's working for me. Um, I'm already more than halfway through the whole thing. And then it's also like I'm going to put it away for a week. I will work on a whole bunch of other things. I will completely forget where I'm at by the time I come back to it. It's so funny. Yes. Yes. There, the the one thing about doing this series on the weekends kind of gives me the freedom to be able to have the big projects and then go back to making the other things that go quicker. Mind you, you're going to see like a lot of projects that are actually taking me longer. And it's kind of causing me to not get ahead on my videos as far as I'd like to be. So, but yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's funny, like Rainbow tells me all the time, like I should just kind of chill out and don't stress about all this stuff as much. But I I make my videos, I edit them, I put in all the extra funny whatever stuff that goes in on the videos. Um, and like I need to keep the content flowing, so like I am constantly like trying to come up with what are the next ideas, how can I improve on things, how can I make sound quality better, or just do things, or like even today, like trying to make it so that way Mandy could have audio on a random video that I just thought would be really funny to make. It's like, man, there's just an endless amount of things to do all the time. That's why I always pull out that old Johnny Walker so I don't have to drink alone. Oh, did I mention that Mandy has actually completed the kumi for the strap for this bag? And yeah, it looks amazing. Um, Actually, I think it's within reach. Hang on. Check that out. Isn't that cool? So yeah, definitely going to be a pretty neat bag. Ooh, we're almost all the way around. Hang on. Sometimes it's easier just to pull all the string out at me and then figure out what I want in the front and what goes off to the side. Except for this is 3, and isn't Rasta 4? Wait, it is 4, right? I'm suddenly confused. Yes. And yellow. Oh, wait, red, yellow, green, black. Each color is supposed to mean something. I don't remember what they are, except for the black is the people. I think red is for the sun. I don't remember. I remember being told this a long time ago. But yeah, there's 4 colors in Rasta. I know I made a number of Rasta bracelets. They are some of like the images from the 90s. I did one where it was like 4 strings, 8 strings, 16 strings. Things that I used to challenge myself with in the early days. Kind of not unlike the videos that you see. Like it starts out with something and then it just starts to see. Yeah, right. Okay, red is the blood, right? I think a similar pattern to this is coming up though soon that could be for colors. Because there's a whole series, like if you go back to when this tutorial came out for like the whole pattern and stuff, there was a whole series of patterns all at once because I was trying to work out the patterns so I could order the floss so that we would be able to do all this. So yeah. Vegetation. One needs their greens. Ah, yes. Back in the day, used to have a subscription to Life magazine, which had like all the best pictures, and they did some coverage on Jamaica, and like the vegetation thing. Wow. There was a picture of a girl in a church with some vegetation. The girl probably couldn't have been more than 6 or 7. Okay, so there would be a way of actually adding a color to this. I'm not sure how you would emphasize which ones. But so there's 4 loops, right? The the pinks that are in each one. So you wouldn't want to mess with the darker pink, but the light pink, it stays, these ones here have stayed inside of the border of these ones here. So these ones are what combine the two sides together. So that's why you wouldn't want to change out this color. But you could have this row here being one color, and then the ones to the next to it could be a different color. So you could have one here, different one here, and then, whatever over here. Does that have something to do with the vegetation? Yeah, I used to be a vegetarian. No, wait. No, it wasn't vegetarian. It was herbivore. That was it. I was an herbivore. I used to smoke herb before I go up for work or before, I have dinner. I suddenly have a new concern. We might be close to finishing this next week. That means I need to go figure out which is the pattern that comes after this and get the string ready for that one. Which, yeah, you can see by Mandy's reaction, I think she just figured out she's got a bunch of kumis to make. But they're just loops, so it won't be so bad. Wait, I'm not sure what the next bag is. I know that there's some that don't have loops, right? I don't know. There's so many different patterns and stuff coming up. I'm trying to research something here because earlier I had Mandy listen to something hilarious. I can't remember. After this video, you guys have to look up on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on YouTube. I know it's on Spotify. Down with the Sickness, performed by Richard Cheese. It is hilarious. It's like it back in like the whole Frank Sinatra era, if Down with the Sickness had been written by like one of those kind of artists. It is spectacular. Or if you're watching this on your computer and you have your phone available, I guess you could listen to that while you're watching me, and then you could, leave some comments and tell me what you think. But to me, I just think it is also awesome, just so good. Yeah, he's got some real bangers, but man, like when he covered some ICP, just dying, absolutely the best. And the way he does the wahahaha thing, did not see that coming. When the song started, I'm like, wait, what the? Oh my! Just, oh, it's too good. It's too much. Yeah, it is. And he puts so much energy into it. It's his like I've seen some cover stuff where they like kind of just they're just doing a thing or whatever. It's like karaoke. Like he seriously is out there like seriously a performer. Like holy smokes. So this pattern definitely does not use all the strings evenly, which is kind of interesting in itself. Like if this was a lot bigger, like a big bag or something, I would be having to change up certain ones. Yeah, it is hilarious. Yeah, you're gonna like a lot of his songs then. His stuff is crazy. The other one that does some crazy covers, oh man, I can't think of his name now. There's a clown that's sad and his covers are really, really good. But his watching his videos, it's a little rough. The heck is his name? Postmodern Jukebox is his YouTube channel. It's oh wait, no. It's Puddle's Pity Party, I guess. Wait, is that the channel? Yeah, the clown is Puddles. His covers are really pretty wow. His voice is amazing and yeah, he does a lot of interesting covers. What do you remember, honey? Do you remember the gal that does covers? The one that did the video where she was walking down the street, basically beatboxing and sampling and all
Oh,
that. She does
no, I,
amazing covers. She is
she does.
absolutely so crazy talented. I haven't seen a video from her in a little while, but um, she is
Yeah,
just
me either. Hmm. Kawehi.
what's her name?
Kawehi.
Right, okay. Yeah, you should throw a link in the conversation because yeah, she's pretty amazing.
Let me see her YouTube videos. Yeah, she's still.
The last time I looked, I saw that she was doing tours and stuff like concert stuffs or whatever. One of my favorite videos from her is she's walking down a street. I think if I remember, it's like Seattle or something, just a kind of an any town USA, walking down the street
Was
with a
fight song.
big old backpack on her back, and she's got all these buttons and stuff attached onto her chest, so that way she can sample the bits, and then she kind of beatboxes the stuff. And she's wearing headphones so she can hear the music that she's creating, but nobody else that she's walking past can hear the music. So nobody knows exactly what the heck this girl is doing, except for she's got all this electronics and stuff on her. and she's just kind of happy about it and coming down the street. It is like the reactions of these people just so puzzled and confused, and it's
Another ad.
really. I didn't put it on to like where it should be a lot of ads. It was like there's different settings for it, and like the one that I chose was like moderate or whatever, like the in
I
between.
I think it's like every half hour because I think it's been maybe 3 or 4.
I guess that's not too terrible. Are they like the short ones, like the little 15-second ones?
Yeah, or either that or you can skip.
Oh, okay. I just don't want it to get to where it's like annoying. Everybody got quiet. I think the day drinking has begun.
At
Every
least it's not because you screwed up.
yeah, everybody's everybody's in a stupor. Oh, rah, sudden thought. Um, getting rid of the dust, that stuff, and I have worked like um like fixing up apartments and stuff. That dust will pretty much kill any vacuum cleaner. Um, it's insidious and it will destroy those kind of things. So just like absolutely try to use the a broom and whatever as much as you can, because yeah. Uh, right on. It's only fair that you guys can listen to music. I'm listening to music. I got a cool one in my ears right now. I haven't heard this in forever. Hold on loosely, but don't let go. I don't know who sings this. Hang on, I gotta know who sings it. 38 Special. In my mind, go back. Yeah, damp cloths will go a lot further. Absolutely. Um, but yeah, the first thing is to sweep up as much of the bulk of it that you can, and then yeah, damp cloths and mopping and that kind of stuff. Um, because yeah, it will destroy a vacuum, and we tried everything. We tried the big industrial canister kinds, um, even like the bigger branded ones and stuff. It doesn't matter. That dust just clogs up the motor part, and it's not enough just to change out the filter. Like the stuff is such a fine particles, it gets in there and just kills them. I wonder if there's a way where you guys can see what's actually playing off my Spotify. I think there's a way of sharing the Spotify songs. I will I will look into that. I don't know how it works. Cuz yeah, I mean, oh man, I do the music thing a lot, or at least some kind of a sound. Like I can't do much without having either a soundtrack or video playing in the background or something going on. Like my brain just requires having at least a couple things going at once just to. I would love to be able to just actually like play the music just through the YouTube thing. Mind you, okay, so people might remember back in the day, I did have music kind of playing in the background, and it was light, like without words and whatever, and it was supposed to be royalty free. And for some odd reason, um, somebody got a hold of some of those songs that were royalty free and somehow got copyright claims on it. And so those videos of mine will pay somebody else as a result. So like I just don't trust the whole copywritten like free music because somebody can come along and be like, "Nope, it's mine now," and then you lose. And it's so annoying. If I wasn't always working on making bracelets, I could learn how to play the guitar that I have, and then I could make my own music and I could play that. That'd be cool. Wow, this timing couldn't be better. We are almost at 1 a.m. and this is kind of like the last little diamond over here to have finished off this whole row, which will make it perfect for doing nice photography stuff for the various social medias. I mean, I'm not really 100% sure like where we were when we started off today's thing, but I think we did at least all of this row and then some. And if that's the case, we only have a row like that again, and then the bigger diamonds that make up the thing that seals off the bottom of it. So we are seriously very, very close to getting towards the end of this thing. But time-wise, I think this kind of really puts us in a weird position because let's say this is how much we did. If we only did that like next week, then there would be barely anything for the week afterwards. So I have this funny feeling that like next week is going to be, instead of ending at 1, it's going to end when it's finished. I think that's what's going to end up happening because I don't know how else to do this. It just doesn't make sense. But yes, we've made a whole rotation. So this is, pull this thing out, show you guys what we got. So yeah. So like this S shape, there's just one more of that downwards. So wait, I can do this. So that's basically what we're looking at for the finish of it. So yeah, not that far to go. I'm really kind of pretty excited. Hopefully you guys are as well. All right, guys. Before I go, I want to thank my Patreon supporters as well as my YouTube members for making all this stuff possible. All this string and everything, microphones and stuff has cost us a bunch of money. And yeah, you guys have helped make this stuff possible. So thank you guys so very much for that. And yeah, I will be back next week to get this thing finished up. And then we can get on to the next one, which I don't even know what that is yet. I would be all about trying to promote that if I knew what it was. I have no idea. So, all right, guys. Thanks again for hanging out with me and Mandy. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.